In today's show, we meet Rob Willcox from Smartlife Home Automation to discuss how his company is helping older people live more independently for longer. Simon Gault is back with another tasty and super healthy recipe, carrot cake overnight oats. And finally, housewife of Auckland and cat welfareist Anne Batley Burton is back to talk about choosing the right environment for your pussy. There comes a time in all of our lives where the welfare and well-being of the older members of our family needs to be taken into consideration while encouraging them to live as independently as possible for as long as possible. So here to talk about some innovative smart technology is Rob Willcox from Smartlife. Kia ora, welcome.
Great to be here, Monique. Thank you.
Really good to hear what you're doing with Smartlife. So I know there'll be people watching going, what is Smartlife? So that's your first question for today's interview. Tell me all about Smartlife.
Yeah, great. So Smartlife's all about integrating technology to make it easy and accessible for people because I think these days it's really easy to end up with a whole lot of different apps and a lot of confusion about how to use them and make life easier. So we're all about fixing that.
So there's a lot of different apps obviously in the market, and that can become quite overwhelming for people. So how do you make life simple?
Yeah, so it's choosing a range of technologies that we can integrate everything together is really the secret to it. Like these days, it's very easy to end up with an app for the alarm, an app for the door lock, an app for the blinds if you have those, app for the heat pump, but certainly a lot of them. And so if you, the problem with that is that apart from being very clumsy to operate, it's also really difficult to get any kind of integration. So like, for example, when you come home or leave the house, pushing goodbye, turns off the heat pump, locks the doors, sets the alarm, turns off the lights, makes it really, really easy to use. And so these sort of technologies have been around for a while, but generally just exclusively in the domain of the rich and famous, if you like. So,
of course, yes.
So really the top few % of homes and boardrooms have had these integrated systems. And then there's a lot of products on the market that expect the user to try to bring it together, but as you say, they end up with a multitude of different systems. What we've done is to develop a system to bring that all together.
Now, my understanding is there's a bit of a story behind setting up Smartlife. So tell me what prompted you to set up the company?
Yeah, so we've always been fascinated about integrating things personally. So I set up, one of the companies, Simation, was bringing together systems for super yachts and luxury vessels. And then we actually got purchased by Navman. So then we had the opportunity to build a world-class product in terms of with a sort of unlimited budget, which was fantastic. But having sort of done that, we really wanted to look at how we could make this accessible to a much wider group. And we're really interested in using it for the technology for energy and aged care. So we set up Smartlife following that and initially focused on high-end homes and businesses. But then we've been developing this technology over the last 5 years to allow it to be much more accessible to a much wider group of people by way of a few techniques of how it can be deployed and how it works, yeah.
So you've created this new iteration of this company, or this new offer, which is Smartlife Care,
yes.
Which is the ability, home automation, is it for older members of our family? Tell me all about that.
Yeah, so initially we focused only on the older members, but it also is very relevant for people of all ages with things like dementia, blind and low vision, or other restrictions. But so there's a lot of products on the market where you push a button and somebody comes, sort of thing. But we stood back and looked at the thing, and there was both the opportunity to create that solution that the carers were looking for, the children. And so that started off around the passive monitoring, so that the children would be alerted, or the carers would be alerted even if nothing happened, if the person didn't push anything. Often they won't remember to do that, or they might be unable to do that if they've had a fall. So the system there detects a lack of presence, if you like. So we adapted the security sensors that are normally there to tell you when somebody's there when they shouldn't be, and we created the technology so that it creates a notification if there's no motion, for example, in the kitchen between 9 a.m. and 6 a.m. and 9 a.m, or in the lounge between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m, sends an alert, and then the family members can communicate with each other to see what sort of assistance could be provided. Perhaps one of them's going to call and that kind of thing.
Wow.
So that was the sort of base philosophy, but then we also wanted to use all the technology that we've been putting into these, luxury homes. So we chose affordable technology just to make it really easy to use. Things like my mum's getting older and by herself now, and remembering how to turn on the Sky TV and adjust the channels and everything was becoming harder. So now she can use Alexa or push a button on a very simplified remote just to get everything set up, and then that makes things so much easier. Also, sometimes if she gets stuck, we can actually control that remotely for her over the phone, turn on heat pumps or adjust the channel or put a favourite program on. What we can do now is we use the Facebook portal, and we can call her during the news hour, pause the news, all remotely, switch the Facebook portal on, call and initiate the call, and then you've got a life-size conversation in the room, which has been really fantastic, particularly over the lockdown. But a number of our other clients that have parents overseas and things like that have found that that's a really fantastic improvement to the communication flow.
So have you noticed that being able to connect with her in this way has improved her well-being, her quality of life, her mindset? How have you seen that change her behaviour, as an example?
Yes, I think that very much just being able to reconnect or be connected, because that's how that isolation can be a really challenging sort of thing. So the big focus there has been on making it easier to stay living longer from that point of view. But because that can be, much more cost effective and people are happier. The other angle is that we have with Smartlife Care is to provide that assistance and technology when they're in a care facility. So we also cover
so it
things with that
integrates
as well.
into those facilities as well.
Yeah, so that's something that we've been rolling out just more recently, but that allows them to integrate in with things like the nurse call system and the understanding that room occupancy, again providing that benefits of energy so that the rooms cool or heat hot without having to run everything all the time, and being able to control the environment, the things that become difficult as you get older, the blinds, the drapes, making sure that the lights are on when you need them and all that kind of thing, answering the door. We can apply so many of the technologies to assist in both those cases.
Having older family members myself, they're fiercely independent, they all want to live independently. I know for a fact that in a few years' time some of them are going to need this sort of assistance. But let's talk about the intrusiveness of this. How do they still remain autonomous and have their own privacy in their own space?
Yeah, so we worked in with some of the studies that were done by Massey University, and we linked in with the universities in Auckland and AUT to understand the sort of the lay of the land there. And absolutely, people do not like having cameras, being spied upon, all that kind of thing. So the system that we deployed is just, literally a security PIR type product. So, monitoring activity like the use of the fridge and the bathroom and activity in the night, doors and things like that is something that is really important as well. And but being able to do that in an unobtrusive way, as we develop the solution there, we'll make sure that we provide one of the features that's just coming out next week. We'll be able to use the Alexa to talk back. So if we do want to have a greater level of intrusiveness, if you like, then we can actually firstly provide the warning to the end user. Hey, because there hasn't been any activity, if the clients want it, we can activate the video conferencing system or something like that to check, but giving them the option to prevent that. So those types of things are really important to provide that right balance between independence and
So how does Smartlife Care roll out? My understanding from reading your website is that you have packages available.
Yep.
So tell me about those packages.
Yep, so the first package we've got is got the 2 motion detectors and the panic buttons, And so we still have panic buttons, even though people love and don't push them. And then there's the app that can be used by the older adult, but typically it's just used by the children and other carers. So motion detector in the kitchen, motion detector in the lounge, panic button in the bathroom, and then there's a pendant that they can wear optionally. So what happens there, if there's no motion, sets the alerts off. The alerts go out to the family members. They can actually use the in-app chat. So, hey bro, I'm busy, can you check on mum? Yep, gave her a call, she just slept in, all good, or that type of thing. Package 2 also has the ability to control the Sky TV, the TV itself, air conditioning, both remotely, and also has that Facebook portal video conferencing. So that allows the family or the older adult to easily control all these things with Alexa or voice commands, or from the app remotely. And even things like we can set it up that certain programs come on automatically at certain times. They're really, really good for dementia and that sort of thing as well. The system can also be, you can add on things like access control for the doors, because if you are going to ask the neighbour or somebody else to pop over if there has been an incident, it's great if you can turn the light on and unlock the door, and there's no sort of keys being left out and telling people where they are, and that creates the security. So they're very good with that sort of thing. And from that base system, people can add things like motorised blinds or lighting control, some of those very simple things, much more affordable than they used to be, and just making life easier for people.
Well, Rob, I think it's absolutely brilliant. Congratulations on creating such a brilliant service for people who need it right now.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to find out more about Smartlife, you can head to their website, smartlife.nz. Rob, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
At Smartlife Home Automation, we're bringing the dream of living in a cutting-edge smart home right in your reach. So what would your current or future place look like as a smart home? We've made it easy to imagine. First, breeze on into one of our interactive showrooms. Then we'll guide you through our range of premium smart products and how they could transform the way you're living. Right from your front gate to your in-home entertainment setup. Think smart security, smart climate, smart lights, and a smart life. That sounds like a lot is going on, but we'll show you how the Smartlife system ties it all together seamlessly. Then meet our app. That keeps everything easily in reach and simple to control. Whether you're after something that's ready to go at the flick of a switch or made to measure for a bespoke build, we're here to find you the smartest solution. So come on into one of our showrooms, ask questions, sit back and enjoy exploring what smart could mean for your home. Or if you'd like to learn more right now, visit smartlife.nz.
Up we go. Hey everybody, overnight oats. Do you love them or hate them? What did you think of the pina colada oats this morning? The overnight oats.
They're really good.
Would you have them every morning?
I might get a little bit tired of having them every morning, but I definitely like them.
Do you like carrot cake?
Yeah.
Do you reckon we make a carrot cake overnight oats with no guilt? Check them out in the morning? All right, let's do it. Okay, carrot cake for breakfast, no guilt, delicious, and we're gonna put it together in a zippy. So let's get a cup of steel cut oats. If you want the recipe, that'll be down the bottom. You can just fill your boots. I'm using goat's milk. You could use a nut milk, but this is a beautiful new goat's milk available in the supermarket. I just love it, and it's good for us because it's an A2 milk. And I'm actually using Raglan coconut yogurt in here, and it's just 3/4 of a cup. We'll get that in, and we're also going to get a teaspoon of vanilla essence in there. There we go. 2, I'm going to put heap ones in, of shredded coconut. It's unsweetened. I reckon any carrot cake should definitely have that. So you could use pecans or walnuts. We've got some fresh walnuts that we've cracked. We'll get that in here. There you go, look at that. A little bit chunky. Tablespoon of chia seeds. They've got a lot of fibre, omega-3 fatty acids, protein, and loads of minerals and antioxidants. And goji berries. Instead of raisins, raisins are just grapes that have been dried out and they're full of sugar, whereas goji berries, Google search the health benefits for them. So good. And a little cinnamon, got to have that in there. It's just 1/4 teaspoon. It's good for helping lower blood sugar levels. Powdered cinnamon, always make sure you buy from a reputable person for cinnamon, because sometimes cassia is sold as cinnamon and that's carcinogenic. So look out for a good cinnamon powder. Let's get a little pinch of ginger in there, just a pinch, because that's going to make any carrot cake pretty good, right? A pinch of nutmeg. There we go. Let's peel a carrot, because any carrot cake has got to have carrot, right? So let's just peel this guy.
Daddy,
Yeah.
why did the carrot turn red?
I don't know. Why did it turn red?
Because it saw the salad dressing.
Oh, very good. I like that. Oh, well, why is a carrot long, pointy, and orange?
Why?
Because I guess if it was green, it would be a pea. Or round and green. Anyway, we're going to grate about half this carrot in here. Great way of sneaking veggies into our kids at breakfast. Turn your ears off, Hazel. My helper has raced out to get an orange. I'm going to get some maple syrup in. Now, 1 tablespoon is enough for me, but you could double that if you want it. We're not too big on the whole sweet thing here. Pinch of salt, that's a must. Thank you. Oh, and some grass as well. That's all right, you can keep that.
Okay.
There we go. Now, I just want to get a little orange zest in here.
Will I taste it?
No, I'm not putting any orange juice in here. I don't need to do that, because orange juice and milk is not great. But the oil will come out of the little bit of zest that I put in there, and it will taste delicious. Wait and see. Right, I'll give this a little mix up here. Yeah, it's really runny at the moment, but chunky. All those bursts of flavour in there. By the time that sits in the fridge overnight, it will set. Don't have to cook. The fridge is going to do it while you're sleeping. Here we go. It's set overnight, and you can see, look, it's quite thick now, which is good, and it'll still have a little bit of nuttiness. That's why I love using the steel cut oats instead of rolled oats, because rolled oats, it just goes really mushy. So I quite like that texture. Do you think you want it to be runnier, or do you like that texture, Hazel? What do you think?
I like it like that.
You like it like that? Because I had some milk here, so if you like it a little bit runnier, you could just add a little bit of milk to it now, and it'll make it softer and runnier. So let's put it together. Should we do the glass first? So we'll put some in the glass. There we go. This is a pretty funky glass, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So let's put a little bit of coconut over the top. Should we drizzle in a little bit of maple syrup, just a touch, a little bit of carrot on top, and let's get a walnut piece on top, let's get a cherry, and boom, and I've spilled a little bit around there, so let's just get that off, and that's kind of cool, right?
Like, for sure, tastes like tastes exactly like carrot cake, and it tastes really delicious. Everything.
And there you have it. This is a perfect breakfast or first meal of the day that you can take with you to work. Just make sure you've got a airtight or good sealable container you can take with you to work. Hey, leave a comment what you'd like. I've done the pina colada oats already, or overnight oats. Go for the steel cut oats. They're a little bit nuttier, a little bit chewier, not soft and mushy like rolled oats, and they're better for you. And if you'd like to see the pie I was talking about in the comments below, let us know. Anyway, happy days everybody. Take care out there. I know it's tough times at the moment. Certainly it is while we're filming here in lockdown, but we're going to make the best of it and do some cooking.
Ready to add value to your property and your life? If so, the team at Colonial Hot Tubs are here to help, using time-honoured craftsmanship that you and your family will love for years to come.
Hot tubs are great for families. You'll have conversations in a hot tub with your kids that you'd never have in the kitchen or in the living room. You'll create, memories that'll last a lifetime. Yeah, hot tub is a great addition to the backyard for a number of reasons. The investment in your backyard, will add value to your house and your property, and make it way more usable. One of our big things is attention to detail and service. So we will turn up and show you how to use your hot tub personally. But it's also about having good partners that you work with to make a job run smoothly. For example, a good landscaper that can make a deck look like this and the backyard look like this is crucial to what we do. Because whilst you can just plonk a hot tub on a deck, there's nothing quite like having it sunken in the deck like this. And the right people to do that is really important.
So a hot tub is a great addition and a great investment for anybody's backyard. We all know it increases our Kiwi lifestyle ability, it brings our families together, it has the health benefits. It's the great Kiwi outdoor lifestyle. Get it done right, the whole thing is going to be fantastic.
Hi, I'm at the New Zealand Cat Foundation at the moment in the weekend, enjoying all these pussies. They're absolutely gorgeous. What I'd like to talk about today is the question of whether or not you try to keep your cats indoors. A lot of people, particularly conservationists and bird lovers and that sort of thing, they're advocating the cats should be kept inside. Now, for the cat's personal safety, I would actually love to have my cats all inside because I worry about them. Every time one of the cats gets out, I start imagining it's been skittled on the road, it's got caught somewhere, it's got locked into somebody's garage, or something terrible's happened if it's home 5 minutes late. So from my own personal point of view, I'd actually quite like to know they're all safe and sound and locked up. But a lot of cats just can't handle that. And it's all very well for councils and conservationists and so on start suggesting that people should have to keep their cats inside. That doesn't work for everybody. If you've got a kitten, you've got a great chance of being able to make that happen. But it's very important that you keep that kitten cat entertained, you must be prepared to play with it, you must make sure there's lots of toys, there's lots of things to interest the cat. Otherwise, it's likely to have your wallpaper shredded and your furniture destroyed, which has happened in our house, actually. So that's fine for young cats that are brought up that way. For older cats, I actually think in most cases it's pretty cruel to lock them all up and not let them outside. And even if you were just locking them up for, say, the night, to have to actually get the cat inside before it gets dark is a nightmare. Imagine coming home from work, winter's night, and you're calling the cat, well, it's already out on the prowl, killing all the rats in the neighbourhood. Instead of that, you spend the night running around, calling, crying out, worrying yourself sick, wondering if something's going to happen to your cat because someone sees it as a pest and out on the prowl. So I don't agree with that in its entirety, but I do think if you have a cat at a young age and it's in an unsafe and exterior environment, that it's a good opportunity for you to train it up to be happy indoors. But it should not be made mandatory, that's for certain. Now, if you'd like to donate to our cause, please visit the website, the nzcatfoundation.org.nz. We need your help.